Writing section, summarize written text, tips and tricks. In this section, we'll look at some tips and tricks that you can use to boost your score, as well as some common mistakes that people make and how to avoid them. The first suggestion that I have is don't write too much. Just because the maximum words that you can write is 75 doesn't mean that you have to write such a long summary. In fact, you should never write a very long summary. Most of the times, about 30 words is sufficient if you know what the key information is. If you find that you are writing a very long summary, then it usually means that you're not clear about what the key idea is in the text. And when you write too long, you will end up adding unnecessary information. And that will also increase the chances of grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes. So avoid writing too long. Make it your goal that you're going to express the key points in under 30 words. The second tip, don't get lost in details. Your focus should always be on the key point or the couple of key points that are there. Ignore supporting statements and examples. So there's no place for an example or additional information which only adds more information to the key point. You don't need that. We just need the key point. That is what the summary is all about. Be original. Don't just copy and paste from the main text. That you take the sentences from the main text and then just add and between them, add some conjunction between them and combine them. Please don't do that. Rephrase them. If you can't be totally original, then rephrase them. But ideally, the goal should be that you express it originally in your own way, okay? That you understand the key idea and then just express it without referring to any of the sentences in the main text, without using any of the sentences as it is. But if you can't do that, then at least you can rephrase what's written there in the text. Your focus should be on understanding so that you clearly identify and understand and can capture the key point in your summary response and express it precisely. Okay, don't write too much. To be able to do that, you have to focus on understanding. As we said, when you read the text, make it your goal. Ask yourself, what am I understanding? Why am I reading this text? What am I getting? What is this text about? Always keep that question at the back of your mind when you're reading. That will help you focus on to the key point. Refresh the basics. So grammar concepts, especially a complex sentence formation, how complex sentences are formed correctly. Read that. That's very important. If you do that, you'll avoid most of the grammatical mistakes that people make in summary writing. The next suggestion, pay attention to form and structure. It's clearly written that you have to write only one sentence. So in no case should you write more than one sentence because it can result in a 0 score. Stay within the word limit. And finally, don't begin your answer with the text, the lecture, the writer, etc. You should write directly about the key point without having any reference like this. I've seen hundreds of responses begin with the lecturer talks about, or the lecture is about, or the text is about. No, you never write that in the summary. Summary is written as a sentence, just as the text stands on its own. The summary should also stand on its own without saying that it's coming from that text or that lecture. So if someone just reads that key point, they should understand what the main idea is. Okay, they shouldn't even think, they don't need to know that this is based upon some lecture or this is based upon the text. We're just passing on the key point. Finally, review your answer in the end. Check for grammar, check for spellings, and of course the logic. So in the beginning, you read the text and you understood the theme and you understood what the whole text is about. Now, in the end, you have written a summary. So ask yourself that if somebody who has not read the main text, reads the summary, will he be able to get the same key idea that someone who has read the whole text gets? Okay, so for a moment, forget about the main text, then read the summary. Are you getting the same information as you would if you read the main text? If yes, then it means that you have written a very good summary. So those are the suggestions that we have for you, the tips that will greatly help in improving the score that you receive in this question type.